Do you know once I told my girlfriend that I don't think I'm going to get married until I see a therapist? All married counselors should be therapists. There's a natural law of growth. A child grows from being dependent to becoming independent to a level that most of us don't get to achieve, which is called interdependence.
Hi guys, welcome to Heart Echoes on botchpod.com, where we talk about life's most intricate topics. We delve into matters around pain, pleasure, masculinity, feminism, in fact, everything emotional. I remain your humble host, Halima, and today I have a special guest yet again, my one and only Odogu of Abuja. I'm sure you all remember him, Fam Lucky.
Thanks for having me again.
Yes,
Thanks for having me
because
again.
this Rema, your experience in life, yeah, I had to bring you back.
Thank you. I am very happy coming
Yeah,
back, and I'm looking forward to having a very nice time with you.
an insightful conversation.
Insightful
You
conversation.
always, every time I have, one thing I like about you, Lokiba, anytime I have conversations with you, I always learn something. Like, Mo will leave your Delta man spirit out of it, but like, I always learn, very interesting, things about life generally.
Maybe because I've experienced so many things, and I am a keen observer,
Yeah.
and I'm actually one that have experienced life, so I understand.
Who see you now good to say you calm for real life?
Oh, yeah, but I'm calm. Am I not calm?
Of course.
You
You
see
are
now,
very. If calm was a person, it is you.
you done too much, boss.
Sorry. So today, I want us to talk about something. I think this issue has not really been flogged a lot. I want us to talk about childhood trauma.
Hmm.
This one where you say, you get
That's
many people
that's
where
that's that's life's issue. That's talking about the basic foundation of every person's life.
yeah,
It's an area of life that excuse me, it's an area of life that people don't really know, but it impacts every aspect of adulthood.
yes.
So I think I'm really interested in having this conversation and yeah,
I
let's
think
talk about it.
even work environments, I think that's what has shaped the culture in different work environments.
See,
You know,
childhood trauma is everything.
actually.
Workplace, relationship, family,
Hmm.
business.
Hmm.
Childhood trauma is everything.
It's who you are,
It's who you are. It's what defines what you are.
your childhood.
Yeah. Do you know once I told my girlfriend that I don't think I'm going to get married until I see a therapist?
Hmm.
And I told her that married all married counselors should be therapists, because you can't tell people to get married without first of all taking care of the
The
most
roots,
basic rules of what make them see life the way they see life.
actually.
So let's really have this conversation.
I've had an episode where I talked about therapy and men. So I usually feel like men don't like this therapy thing because it just makes them feel like, oh, so I'll just sit down in front of a stranger and, tell them my problems. But I'm happy. I found a man that, wants to key into therapy.
Men that don't like therapy don't understand what the statistics are saying.
Hmm.
Have you gone to the asylum,
No.
rehab homes? Who do you see more there? Men.
Are you
Go
serious?
to psychiatric home. Who do you see more there? Men.
Men.
Go to
Wow.
the prison. Who do you see more there?
No
Men.
prison are men.
Who is having mental health challenges the most? Men. Who's having?
But they don't accept these things.
Because they don't know the statistics. Men are in. They are the major gender that I think need therapy.
See, guys. We're really going to have another episode with Fam Lucky. But notwithstanding, let's go back to childhood trauma. So, what do you think? Okay, we've already established what childhood trauma is about, right?
Oh no, I think childhood trauma is experiences, scary, unpleasant
Yeah,
experiences or events that happened in the life of an individual between
at a young
0
age.
to 18 years
Hmm.
that impart the course of
Even
the
up to
entire.
18
Yes,
years?
yes,
Really?
yes. At the up to 18 years, people still have experiences that change the course of their outlook to life.
Yeah,
And studies have actually seen that those experiences can culminate to what is called childhood trauma.
trauma.
Yeah.
That's a very insightful definition. So, like, what areas of life do you think childhood trauma can impact the most?
Childhood trauma should not be seen as just
Yeah, one
it's
thing.
not it's not an ailment. You understand?
It
You shouldn't be
isn't.
seen as an ailment. It should be seen as what forms an individual.
Yeah.
So whether positive or negative, it forms who that individual should be or who that individual is becoming. So childhood trauma impacts every aspect of people's life. In fact, I think every individual on the surface of this earth, in one way or the other, had childhood trauma that has impacted how they
They see
see
life.
things, their experiences, how they come to think about it. Let me bring an experience here. I had a friend that she does not like collecting money from guys.
Hmm.
Like, not even guys from her boyfriend. She will not take money from you. Even when you give her the money, she finds it extremely difficult to take it. And once it became an issue in her relationship, her boyfriend was like, why is it that is it pride or something that makes you don't want to take something to mention like please I don't used to take something. But delving deep, we came to realize that her father was not really an ideal father to husband to her mom. So he was not there to give the mom. He was not giving the mom. So the mom brought her up. She experienced that. The mom brought her up to be independent. Don't take anything from anybody. Live your life. If you are not earning it, it's not yours.
Yeah, I was about to say that she's really keen into her masculine energy.
And then I can tell you for real that that girl is having daddy issues that is coming from childhood trauma,
Yeah.
what she has experienced. And it affects her in her workplace. It affects her in her relationship. It affecting her. But she may not know. I have a friend that had a boss that is explosive. She's never at peace with anybody. She has money here in this Abuja. All her staff, none of them stays up to a year. They leave.
Wow.
And then I was talking to her and I asked her that this your boss, is she married? She said she had gone to 3 marriages and they had failed. And then when you ask her, she always feel the people are the problem.
Problem.
And then she's just okay. But she does not know that she's battling some very big devils that came from her. If you check
Childhood.
well, you might realize that maybe she was bullied as a child.
Actually, right. You know, you know this thing, you just said. I had a conversation with my colleague like yesterday, and we talked about it. And I was trying to tell my colleague that actually most people that were bullied, over time, the defense mechanism they build up, to stand strong,
It's
to,
aggression.
is aggression, serious aggression. Like they start having like mad anger issues because before you start thinking of it, they're already feeling insecure, like this person is
Yeah.
trying to bully me. And most of the time, they're not bad
They are
people,
not bad people.
but it's just how they respond to these things. And he was telling me about one of his friends that was actually really bullied when she was young, and then she had parent issues. They gave her out as a maid and all of that. So over time, you know, when you're a maid now, you're always trampled on,
Yeah,
talked to
yeah,
anyhow,
anyhow, yeah.
maltreated. You know, so over time now, she builds her confidence with aggression. So her anger is like really explosive, and
Yeah,
that's bad,
that's very bad.
especially for a woman.
You know, there's this. I think okay. Let me just say this some spectrum of how childhood trauma can reflect itself. Now, it is not just about the aggressive part. There are some part that we think is positive, but end up having negative effect. Some parents that are overly protective,
Yeah,
the children become too dependent.
true.
You understand? Now, and in adulthood,
Sorry.
thank you. In adulthood, you see that these children, they can't decide for themselves. They can't make decisions. They always want to be helped. They can't stand up for themselves in the workplace. The people talk down on them and they're just
Yeah.
chicken. They can't even pursue their dreams.
Yes. And you know, low key in a way, personally, I feel like that's the angle modern day parents are going over protectiveness of their children.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's because of their own childhood trauma. They now feel like, oh, if I can protect my child, don't hit my child, don't
Don't
shout at my child,
child.
don't do this, don't do that. My child can't go to a boarding school. You know, I feel like that's what's happening these days now.
You see, there's just so many spectrum to this conversation. It has negative parts. We're all going to be parents soon.
True.
Let's take a look at this. Do you know some parents will always scold their children. Hey, don't do that. Are you okay? It's an experience, it's depositing.
Yeah.
Some parents will don't, oh, don't touch him, don't do that. It's depositing. Some parents are overly too clean.
Yeah.
The child touched us, they wash. The child do this, they wash. It now make this child grow up to become a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Some may not have OCD, but they start exuding
Yeah,
characteristics
traits
that
of
seem like they have OCD. You understand? So childhood trauma is broad. It's not a topic that
yeah.
we could just talk, but it is far-reaching,
Some people even become emotionally unavailable.
unavailable,
Like, no, that's the bad one.
especially for the guys
Yeah.
when they've been forced to be strong
Strong men.
because they believe that a man should not express his emotions, so they
Yeah.
become emotionally unavailable and then start having mental health conditions and the rest of them. So you see, childhood trauma is far-reaching. It is something, and it's the thing. It is something that we should own up to. When you experience something in your life, when people point your attention to something in your life, look at it. Don't say, this is how I am. You're not a fool.
Yeah.
That's not how you are.
Actually.
You understand? So look at it.
Sorry.
I met a friend. She's Kenyan, and she's a teacher. She's teaching in one of the Montessori school here in Abuja. And then when I got to talk to her, I realized that education has actually evolved. Parents now, prior to now, parents change their children to any school just to be. The current level where education is where children are trained to be to identify themselves by themselves. You understand? That helps the children to know who they are
Yes.
without dealing with the traumas. Now you see, I saw her classroom where even has 1 year, 2 years, everything is made at their size. Nobody is helping them. The children wash their dish by themselves. They arrange their meal by themselves. They clean. They are not taught ABCD. They are taught life skills
Yeah.
from 1, 2. And I saw a child with Down syndrome. For the first time, she was showing me video where this child folded her clothes herself. You understand? Now, education is evolving to where it is not taking mental health considerations.
Yes.
You understand? The question is, are we growing as adults? Are we growing with it?
True.
When you go into a relationship, and I don't know if it's part of the questions you're going to ask, but most people don't know that the attitude, the behavioral characteristic they exude is as a result of childhood traumas that
Yeah.
they've had. Because most people don't know they have this trauma until events and circumstances bring them out. Some people may not, some people feel, everybody feel they are perfect until maybe they are in a relationship.
So how will a person actually know that they have this childhood trauma?
I think the most effective for me, I may be wrong, but the most effective way that I have come to identify that brings out whatever hidden thing you have inside of you is relationship and marriage.
This is a very dicey one.
Yes. You may think you're perfect until you're in a relationship. Your spouse will complain about how you look, how you eat.
But you
how
know that
sleep.
there are some people that don't like correction.
That is why they are still child. Okay, let me take you people back a little bit. I want to just state something. In all human endeavor, there's a natural law of growth.
Yeah.
A child grows from being dependent on the parents to becoming independent on their own, wanting to do their things themselves, to a level that most of us don't get to achieve, which is called interdependence. A newborn baby is dependent, everything on the parents, and that's when most of the trauma are being introduced. And then this child can get to being independent from teenage where they want to do their things themselves. And then at every point of human life, there's a part that calls for interdependence. That's where marriage comes in. That's where relationship comes in. You see that natural flow affect every aspect of our life. Mentally, people grow from dependence to independence to interdependence. How do you know? Dependent people can't make any decision. They always want you to decide for them. They can't seem to make up their mind.
Yeah, they're always confused.
So mentally, those people are still children. You understand? Then you see some people that they are independent on their own. They don't need you for anything. They just want to do their thing. Whoever else is God, they don't care. They are independent. But the highest form that we should aim to achieve is interdependence, where I am fine on my own. Without you, I can take care of myself. But when we come together, we are better.
We can coexist.
If you're not here, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But when you come with me, I am better.
Yeah.
And then we'll make better decisions. Emotionally too. Some people are emotionally dependent. Adults, 40, 50 years, they are emotionally dependent. How do you know? These people, they seek their essence of living, their validation from what people think. It is an offshoot of childhood trauma. Where maybe their parents always keep them in that place. You understand? So the parents did not allow them to grow emotionally, grow from emotional dependence to independence, and then come to the point where they say, I need to be emotionally interdependent. People are still financially, that flows also follow. Financially. Some people don't know how to manage money. You understand? They are always needing. So you see people, they are financially dependent on somebody. Even when you give them all the money, they can't think of how to make for themselves.
Yeah, they just want to keep collecting and collecting.
And then there's now this error that society has built. Oh, I'm an independent woman. I'm an independent man. What that is telling you that you can be fine on your own, but we are not created to be fine on our own.
That's why God created Eve to join Adam.
So the highest form of human aspiration is to be interdependent. Grow from dependence to independence to interdependence. If you're in marriage, grow. Your finance, grow. Your emotions, grow. Mentally, grow. Have that in mind. Always have it in mind. You understand? So bringing it back to childhood trauma, it is this trauma that cuts across. So you may not know that. You may think you've grown physically, mentally, until you're in a relationship and it brings out that you're
It happens because, like, sometimes you see the guy, you're dating a 35-year-old and you're like, and the guy, they behave like small picking.
That is because that person is emotionally still immature. He has not grown emotionally.
So how do you think that people that have this childhood trauma can help themselves? How can they come out of it? Can they really come out of it? Can they
Yes.
do better?
Yes. Everybody can. We are dynamic being. Everybody can. The first way out is to know that there is a
Actually,
need.
accept it.
That there is a need.
Yeah.
I have a friend that has daddy issues. She does not know.
Yeah.
If you talk to her, she doesn't see anything wrong. She feels she's cool. So know that there is a need. When you know, be willing to take steps towards it. Talk to someone, talk to a professional.
I think a professional.
Get therapy.
I always emphasize on therapy. Like, people underestimate. Even like myself, sometimes I sit down and I'm like, Halima, you need therapy.
We do. We all do. We all do. We all do. Not because the person is teaching you how to live life.
You just need to let it out.
Just let it out. The person is helping you identify areas. Not the whole therapy of, okay, come. No. Therapy of knowing who you are.
Who you are. You know, how to solve some kind.
And it is when you are aware of the greatest level, to me, I think the greatest level of achievement is self-awareness.
Actually.
I told a friend that the most sexy thing any man can aim to achieve is being fully aware of who he is. Actually. Not the money you have. Have you seen rich babies? People that have money and they are just simps.
So you're part of the people that believe that money is not everything.
I believe that money is not even part of what we need to be humans.
Human beings.
I believe that money is a plus. Money just gives you freedom of choice.
Yeah.
But who is making the choice?
The
It's
adult.
you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Fam Lucky. So we've established that for people that are undergoing childhood trauma, should start from accepting their defaults, accepting this is what is wrong with me and this is what I need to do. So the best way to overcome your childhood trauma is through therapy, right?
Therapy, yeah.
Therapy, speak out, listen to your partners, I know I wanted to say friends, but no friends. Some friends are unfriendly friends, but then let me just your partner. Although some partners too, you have to even know who you are to know the kind of advice that you want to take and live. That's why it's better to just seek help from a professional, somebody that is just there to help you, that has studied and mastered these things. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you, Fam Lucky, yet again and again and again. Let me thank you in advance.
Thank you for
and
having me.
and again, guys. Help me to thank Fam Lucky, and also tell me what you think in the comment section if you've had experiences about this as well. I remain your humble host, Halima. See you guys on my next episode.